Hi guys, Harry Yotis here. I've been a professional trader for 20 years now. Started in 2005 and still alive in 2026. So, big news of the day is Taco Tuesday today. This big green candle in the S&P 500 is Wednesday, the 21st of January. We know that Taco Tuesday came up. Trump basically caved to the EU over Greenland. We'll get to that shortly. First, we always talk about the technical picture of the S&P 500. As you recall from yesterday, because we closed beneath a 50-day moving average here in red, we are technically in neutral territory, but we suspected that it would be something like this day here where it closed briefly, or this day closed briefly, and maybe a week to 1 day it will recover. Well, the next day, today, it recovered. Okay, so we're back above the 50, back into bullish mode. And we also mentioned yesterday that the VIX shot up to 20 here. This was yesterday, shot up to 20. And we suspected that it will, if it drops below 18-ish or so, that we would start going into bullish mode. And yes, it's now at 1689 and dropping. Okay, it's something like this kind of move where it drops, and I expect it to continue to go down for weeks. Okay. However, I would like that confirmed by the S&P 500 closing tomorrow up above the 685 close of today. Okay, so it closes above here would be nice, and it probably confirms that move upward going forward. And I suspect this gap gets closed because this was all about Greenland, so it'll probably get closed going forward. Okay, so that's the technical picture. We always pair it with the sentiment. In sentiment, fear and greed, CNN, smack down at 50 in the neutral. We couldn't even get 1 or 2 days of greed. We were like at 62 greed one day, and then Trump came out, boom, knocked it down on Tuesday. So we have the sub indices here. The market momentum is still at fear, extreme greed on the strength, and the put call ratio is still at extreme fear. As you recall, yesterday we mentioned that a lot of puts were being bought here for for various reasons, and they would probably have to get smoked. They would have to, that premium has to get expired, and expired worthless, that is. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen. And it's basically confirmed it today after Greenland. That issue is probably off the table. Who knows what happens in the future, but as of right now, maybe he comes up tomorrow and invades Iran. We don't know. But as of right now, I think we continue to go higher. So we have the bullish technicals, bullish fundamentals, and the bullish sentiment to give us an overall picture of stay bullish. Okay, so let's get to Taco Wednesday. Trump here. Trump drops the Greenland tariff threats after EU freezes U.S. trade deal. Okay, so they made it seem that Trump caved. I guess he did cave, but what really happened was that he basically talked with the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, and Trump. They had a framework and a future deal with respect to Greenland and the entire Arctic region. So we don't know what that is. It's going to come out in the coming days or weeks, I suspect, to see what's going on there. But as of right now, we know that the Greenland deal is probably solid, and it's off the table as a harbinger of doom. So Taco Tuesday doing well. Okay, so what happened in Taco Tuesday when that was announced? Well, you had gold and silver take a hit. Doesn't look like it here, but if you look, like, gold was up a lot, almost at 4,900, 48.84, and then it tanked. What happened? Well, let's go into intraday chart, the 15-minute chart. Gold was trading around the 48.50 level around here, and then boom, smack down, monkey hammered after the trade deal, I guess, or Greenland alleviation of tensions was announced. So you had that smackdown, but then quickly recovered. Okay, silver, same story. Intraday chart, smackdown at 2 o'clock, quickly recovered back to that level. Why? Well, that's obvious, because gold and silver are not moving because of, put it back to the day, gold and silver are not moving because of Trump's Greenland move or the tariffs. I mean, you had, look at the whole time it's up on, even when Greenland didn't even exist, okay, and as a gleam in Trump's eye, going up even before that. Same with silver. Okay, there are other fundamental, deep reasons why silver and gold are up, and they're not going to be alleviated by a Greenland deal. So boom, I'm still bullish gold and silver. Nothing has changed. It's not risk on or risk off at this point. It's just fundamentally driven tailwind that you just wait to see where it's going to settle. Okay, so the taco capitulation, Taco Wednesday, Taco Trump is not really going to affect gold and silver going forward. Okay, so the last thing that I'd like to talk to you guys about today is that rotation. Okay, we are witnessing rotation in the market, even though it's not obvious, and I mentioned it a while back. But as you can see, like, look, the S&P 500 is up and down here. It's very volatile because of Trump, but look, it's an upward drifting asset, back and upward to the right, from bottom left to top right. Okay, so what other indices are like that? Well, we have the Dow Jones Industrial Index. Okay, that's also up to the right. It's going up, but what isn't? Okay, what index isn't? The QQQs. Okay, as you can see, it's up, but basically for the past, since November, it's sideways. Okay, and the reason for this sideways like underperformance is because of the Mag7. Okay, you had Mag7 stocks like Meta basically doing nothing. Look at Meta consolidating in this huge range between 480 to 780, basically going down and holding in this range, not doing anything, flat for months. Okay, you had Microsoft. Okay, going down now. It broke this key level and is going down. Okay, I'm still long the 420-400. I shorted the 420-400 put spread, so we'll see how that happens. But I'm not very excited about these Mag7 stocks going forward. Amazon basically flat with the market for months. So basically you have the QQQs, which are very tech heavy, flat. Okay, while other sectors like SPY, which is not just tech but everything else, okay, up and to the right. You had the Dow Jones Industrial Average, industrials up and to the right, and you also have my favorite we haven't seen in a long time, IWM small caps ripping. They're catching bid as the money's rotating out of the Mag7. You have small caps, you have industrials, you have other stocks catching bids. There is money to be made in this market as money rotates out of Mag7 into these sectors. So that's what I thought I'd mention. Guys, look at the IWM, look at small caps, and of course, specific companies in the SPY. I still like the SPY, and we go higher. So that's it. That's what I wanted to mention. Let's recap. Market now closed above the 50-day moving average. Technically, we're back to bullish mode. But look, even as this drop happened, all the moving average are stacked above each other. Short, next short term, the other short term, medium term, long term, all stacked above each other. Nothing has really changed based on Tuesday's dump because of Greenland. So that's very encouraging to see. We also, let's get rid of that. We also have the sentiment at neutral, plenty of room to go into greed and extreme greed and to stay there for a while. Okay, and we also had the VIX mini pump yesterday to 20. And now back down to 1689. It'll probably head lower again, back down to the 13, 14 level. Who knows? Okay, so it might be another slow grind higher, lower for the VIX and higher for the market. And of course, don't be afraid of gold and silver tanking because the market is catching a bid. The temporary drop in gold and silver, as we saw in the intraday charts, was quickly bought back because you just gave, whoever sold it here gave the person who was looking to buy a reason to buy and quickly bought back. Okay, so because it just tells you that that's not the reason why gold and silver are going up. Okay, and of course we have rotation going on. First of all, coming out of the QQQs and the Mag7 stocks and into places like industrials, the Dow Jones Industrial Average going up and to the right. And of course, I like small caps up and to the right and catching bids. So that's it, guys. I hope you liked and enjoyed this video. Of course, like and subscribe. It really helps me out with YouTube. And looking forward to what happens this week. I suspect this gap gets filled. And of course, guys, you could always leave comments and I will answer them as quickly as possible. So take care. Looking forward to the rest of the week.